we are going to just review how to multiply and divide fractions. So if I have 9/10 times 2/3, multiply the numerator with the numerator and the denominator with the denominator. But I'm going to check to see if there's anything I can simplify before I go ahead and find the answer. So what you really have, this step you don't have to write out, but you have 9 times 2 is in the numerator, and you have 10 times 3 in the denominator. Well, a 2 and a 10 both have a 2 in common. So I can take a 2 out of here, and I can simplify this and take a 2 out of there and be left with a 5. Here, I have a 3 in there, and I can simplify this to a 3. And when I multiply across, I'm going to get 3 times 1 is 3, and that's 5. So in simplest form, it's 3/5. I could have multiplied this and got 18 over 30, and then I would have still ended up taking a 2 and a 3 out, a 6 out, but this way I didn't have to do the math and then reduce it. All I needed to do is simplify before I multiply. Alright, so let's try another one. 4 over 21 times 7/8. You don't need to write this step out. I just wanted to show you that both of these are in the numerator, both of these are in the denominator. 4 and 8 both have a 4 in common, so I can simplify that to make it a 1, simplify that and make it a 2. This has a 7 in common, so 7 turns to a 1 and this turns to a 3. And when I multiply across, I get 1 times 1 is 1, and 2 times 3 is 6, is 1/6. Try 21 over 10 times 15 over 14. Why don't you go ahead and you do those and pause it and then I'll work it. Okay? Hopefully you guys all worked it. Right away I see 21 and 14, I see a 7 is in both of them. 7 out of here is a 2. 7 out of there is a 3. It doesn't always have to be the entire number. It can be a factor of both of the numbers. And here they both have a 5 in them. So 5 out of here is a 3. Take a 5 out of there and I'm left with a 2. I check to make sure these are 2's. I have nothing in the numerator that's also in the denominator. When I multiply across, I get 9 over 4. And this is an improper fraction. So we say 4 goes into 9 2 times with 1 left over, so it's 2 and 1/4. Because 9 divided by 4 is 2 and 1/4. Okay? Now we can also multiply 3 fractions or many fractions together. So I have 3 7ths times 5 9ths times 28 over 45. All right? Now I don't want to multiply all these things out and then have to reduce it. So you're going to simplify and find things that are in common before you even do the multiplication. So I'll pause it and let you do that. All right? So if I look here right away, this 3 and the 9 both simplify. 5 and 45, 5 goes in there once and 5 goes in there 9 times. As long as 1 is in the bottom and 1 is in the top, I can simplify this 7 and this 28 because all of these make the numerator and all of these make the denominator. It doesn't matter that they're this far apart. So that goes in there once, that goes in there 4 times. I'm going to check. This is made up of 2's and this is made up of a bunch of 3's. So I can't take any other factors out. So 1 times 4 is 4. And 1 times 3 times 9 is 27. All right, good. Why don't you try this next one? 7/12 times 24 over 19 times 57 over 35. Go ahead and pause it. Okay. All right, so I'm looking at, for things that are common, well, 12 and 24, I can take 12, the entire 12 out of there, and I'm going to get a 2 here. 7 and 35 are compatible. 7 goes in there once. 7 goes in there 5 times. Then 19 is prime, so unless 19 goes into 57, and I have a feeling that maybe it goes in there 3 times, because 3 times 9 is 27, so let's check it. 19 times 3 is 27, that's the 7 I'm looking for, and that's 3, 4, 5, 57. So 19, even though it's prime, it goes into here 3 times. So 19 goes in there once, that goes in there 3 times. I check, I have 2's and 3's, and only have 5 in the denominator, so 2 times 3 is 6, and 1 times 1 times 5 is 5, and then I see that this is improper, and 6 divided by 5, 5 goes in there 1 time with 1 left over, so it's 1 and 1/5. Alright, I'm going to give you one more that you can work on. You have 1/2 times 4/7 times 14/15. Go ahead and you simplify that, pause this, and then I'll work it. Okay, so I'm looking at this and I see 2 goes in there once, 2 goes in there twice. 7 and 14 are compatible, 7 goes in there once, and 7 goes in there 2 times. 15 has a 5 and a 3 in it, so there's no 5's or 3's in the numerator. So when I multiply 1 times 2 times 2, I'm going to get 4, and then this is just 15. And that's in simplest form. Alright, so that was a quick review of multiplying fractions. Let's talk about division now. When you divide, division means to multiply by the reciprocal. Okay, so division means to multiply by the reciprocal. So a reciprocal is when you switch the numerator and the denominator. You switch the numerator and denominator. I'll just abbreviate that for right now. Alright, so if you have 2/3 and I wanted the reciprocal of 2/3, it's 3/2. Because I just switched the numerator and denominator. The number 4, the reciprocal is, well, this is really over 1, so the reciprocal is 1/4. If I have 1/3, the reciprocal is 3, or you could think of it as, 3/1. Now, if I have a mixed number, like 1 and 1/2, and I want to take the reciprocal, I have to turn it into an improper fraction before I can take the reciprocal. So this is 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3/2. Now I can take the reciprocal. It's 2/3. You cannot take the reciprocal of a mixed number. You have to turn it into an improper fraction and then take the reciprocal. Alright, so we know what the reciprocal is. And we've also talked about division as another quick little catchy phrase is we say keep, switch, flip. So another way to think of division is to keep, to switch, and to flip. So we keep the first number, we switch the operation, and we flip the second number, or take the reciprocal of the second number. The second. Okay, so division, keep, switch, flip, keep the first, switch the operation, take the reciprocal of the second. So if I have 7/8 divided by 3/4, if I keep the first, switch the second, flip this, and that means and division means to multiply by the reciprocal. Whatever I'm dividing by, I multiply by the reciprocal. That's why we switch it and we flip it. So it's keep, switch to multiplication, flip. So it's 7/8 times 4/3. Now I have a multiplication problem, just like we've been practicing. 4 goes in there once, 4 goes in there twice. I want to simplify before I multiply to keep my numbers smaller. And I have 7/6, which is 1 1/6. All right, I'd like you to try a few now. Let's try 10/25 divided by 12/15. 10/25 divided by 12/15. Go ahead and you can pause this. Alright, so I'm going to keep, switch, flip. So I have 10/25. I'm keeping it, I'm switching it, I'm flipping. 25 and 15 both have 5s in common. I can factor a 5 out of here and get 3, factor a 5 out of there and get 5. 10 and 12 both have a 2, so if I take a 2 out of there, I'm left with 6, and I factor out a 2 out of there, I'm left with 5. I also see I have a 5 in here, and I could have pulled that out first, but if I take the 5 out and the 5 out, I'm left with 1s. And I also see I have 3s in here. You can simplify up and down. That's just simplifying the fraction. So you can still do it. You don't always have to do it on the diagonal. 3 goes in there once, 3 goes in there twice, and the answer is 1/2. Okay? Now, another way of writing a fraction or division is to have a fraction inside a fraction. So I can say 4/9 divided by 1/2. Alright? This is 4/9 is in the numerator and 1/2 is in the denominator. This is a complex fraction. So it means the same as 4/9 divided by 1/2. But I still keep, switch, flip. Just like I keep, switch, flip. Keep this one, switch the operation, flip the bottom one. So to rewrite this, I'd say it's 4/9 times 2/1. Well, there's nothing I can simplify, so I multiply across, make it 8/9. Alright, let's try this one. I have 3/16 divided by 6. This is still a complex fraction. This is the numerator, and then the bigger fraction bar is division. So it's 3/16 divided by 6. So I'm going to keep, switch, flip. So you have to take the reciprocal of 6. So go ahead and do it. You can pause this. Alright, so you should have rewritten it as 3/16 times, and then 6/1, the reciprocal is 1/6. I see I can simplify the 3 and the 6, and when I multiply across, I'm going to get 1/32. Alright, so this was a quick review of how to multiply and divide with fractions.